My name is Norman Brewster. I'm President and CEO of a company called Cadillac Ventures, Inc. This company trades on the TSX-V. Symbol is CDC. The company has been around for a few years. I co-founded it in about 2006. We have two fundamental projects. One's a copper project in Pickle Lake, Ontario, and one is a tungsten project with tin in Boys Town, New Brunswick. For the purposes of this conversation, I'm going to focus on the tungsten project, as that's the one I think is germane in this period in time that we're involved in the junior mining industry. Okay, the Burnt Hill project has been around for some time and was first looked at in the period 1914, the First World War, the period in the Korean War, and there was minor production, say 50,000 tons of material from the property at that time. I became interested in the property in about 1975. I was an external consultant for a company called International Paper Corporation. They owned this property, and I was brought in to assess their mineral rights throughout eastern Canada. And Burnt Hill was the one that we figured had legs. We actually looked at this property quite extensively. There's a shaft, an adit level, a subterranean level, underground level. And based on work that we did rehabilitating the shaft, resampling those levels, excavating a level underground, taking a bulk sample, we decided to go forward with the project. We then excavated a decline, took out a 14,000 ton sample, set up a pilot plant, processed the material, and subsequently did a feasibility study. This was all in 1980, and we had committed to put this project into production in 1980. Subsequently, the price of tungsten collapsed, as did tin, and the project went on the shelf. I regained control of it in 2006, and because of the makeup of the company and what we were focused on, I had just put a base metal project into production in Spain in another company. We focused on base metals. It was the era for base metals in the 2006, 2010, in that period. So we focused on base metals. Now is the time for tungsten. I didn't get the base metal project in Canada into production. It's still there. It's had a PEA done on it. There's a deposit, there's infrastructure. The PEA was positive. But now is the time for tungsten and tin. These are the highest value industrial commodities around right now. We have a project that has infrastructure, had a pre-feasibility study done on it, is economic. We're going to put it in production. Well, yes, I'm the biggest insider. There's approximately 166 million shares outstanding in this company. Trafigura Beher, centered in Lucerne, Switzerland. They're the largest shareholder. They have 25%. Capital Asia out of Shanghai, they have another 12%. Myself and my family probably have another 10%. And that latter group, myself and my family, have been buying shares in the last year. I'm negotiating right now with a couple parties, and the objective is to raise sufficient funds to, because of the 43-101 protocols and all this work that I mentioned earlier was done in 1980. Although the guys were very capable, very competent at the time, it does not fit within the 43-101 protocols, so I have to do a certain amount of that over again. This is what we're intending to do over the next several months, and I'm in the process of raising funding for that. The same comments apply to the copper project in Ontario, but that's a little further down the road. Getting to the same place, it's a much larger project, much higher capital costs, et cetera, et cetera. We're a family situation. As you know, I have a son who has a company of his own, a daughter who has a company of her own, and I've co-founded another couple of companies. All of the names I'll give you. The one I'm quite interested in is Anconia, which is operating in Nunavut, and they are looking at projects in Spain, which I've introduced to them. These are zinc projects. The time for zinc is almost here, so I'm very excited about that. The other company is Renforth. They have a project in Cadillac Brake in Quebec, getting really good numbers on that, and I think it's quite, I'm the largest shareholder. Cadillac is the largest shareholder of Renforth. Another company which I participated in the early days is something called Eurotin, which is exploring a tin deposit in central Spain, which I was a co-founder of that company, and I'm quite interested in tin and that suite of commodities: tin, tungsten, antimony, so on. So those are a couple companies. I sit on the board of a couple other companies, but I'm not heavily invested. One of them, Black Widow Resources, I do have an investment in, and it depends on the market, depends what you're looking for. Myself, I'm pretty much focused on the rare metals right now.